She's the sweetest, loving, caring child you'll ever know. And she accepts everyone. And unfortunately, everyone doesn't reciprocate that and accept her. She is a little socially awkward still. I mean, she's basically lost her diagnosis of autism. She's recovered enough to a point where she would no longer be considered autistic. But she still has some social awkwardness, and some of the children would just pick on her mercilessly about that. And she doesn't understand why they're picking on her. Sometimes she gets she's a little emotionally sensitive. You know, just a little bit more so than some other children. And it's just heartbreaking to see that, because she's so sweet and she accepts everyone, even the bullies. You know, she still wants to be their friend.
She had surgery and she was in a body cast for hip dysplasia. And so we attributed all of her symptoms to that. And she was in that cast for 3 months. And so the surgeon had said that she would be developmentally delayed in certain ways because of that until she was about 3 years old. And then when she was 3, she would be caught up with her peers. Well, when she was 3, she was, it was obvious she was getting further and further behind her peers. And then she was sick. I mean, her gut was distended, and she had diarrhea all the time, and she had rashes, and she cried all the time, and she wasn't well, basically. And so I didn't know what was wrong with her, and I went to the pediatrician and said, that she was throwing fits and she had diarrhea all the time, and, just kind of was asking her, hey, what's wrong with my kid? And so her answer was for me to read a book about strong-willed children. And so, I didn't know any different. And I went and got the book and read it and knew, about halfway through it that wasn't Madison. Then I came across the word autism, looked it up, and sure enough, she fit. She had a lot of those symptoms, and she fit the description of that. And so I went back to the pediatrician and, told her that I felt like she had autism, and so she referred us to a developmental pediatrician, and she was diagnosed. The pediatricians around here, they don't know what to do with that. It's not a mainstream medical thing. You're going to have to step outside the box to figure that one out.
Autism is becoming more and more prevalent, and the services and the needs of the children are going to be, growing at an exponential rate. I just hope that the system here in Nacogdoches and elsewhere is equipped to handle that. I fear that within the next 5 or 10 years, it's going to be at a point where the system, as it currently stands, is going to be overwhelmed. I can sit here and tell you as a physician that it's completely treatable and recoverable, and that's not the mainstream answer. That's not globally accepted. It's fact. And your proof is right downstairs.